So Dak, I heard the other day, I actually heard that he quit on the team and he was a coward and a P word, I think.
Oh my God.
That's what I heard.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
A P word is extensive.
Yeah, that's what I
Close to the
heard.
anal
Oh
glands.
my God.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not saying any healthcare facts anymore.
That's what I heard. So Clarence, did Dak just quit on the team? He didn't want to play no more?
That's crazy. That's why I pray for you when you get ready to run this 40. As I said, when you do some things that you haven't done before, your body starts talking to you.
Let's go, baby. I got the clock. I got the clock, baby.
I pray for you, but seriously, you're referring to James Jones and what he said on
He's an idiot.
FS1 and that show, just so disrespectful, and I just have a problem with. It's one reason why I got into Dante Hittner last year.
He's an idiot.
You can criticize players, but be respectful to NFL brethren, especially for something like injuries. And if you know Dak and who he is and what he's all about, there's no way he's quitting on anybody. And if you know injuries, everybody's injury is different. And if you don't know the history of injuries, call somebody. You know Mike McCarthy, you played for him in Green Bay. You can call somebody to get some information about these things before you share an opinion. And clearly it came out yesterday that not only does Dak have a hamstring injury, we already knew he was going to be out multiple weeks, but it's an avulsion. It's partial avulsion. That means the hamstring is partially torn off the bone.
Don't say the words. I don't like it. It's nasty sounding.
It is horrible.
It makes me grab my hamstring.
Off the ball. Remember, Tyron Smith had an avulsion
Serious.
in 2022. He was out from August until December.
Did he quit on the team? He quit on the team that long?
He had surgery, missed the first 13 games of the season.
His was completely off the bone.
Yes, it was completely off the bone. So it was more severe, but this is severe, and there's a chance surgery's an option. And if he does have surgery, he's out for the season. He's still, right now, we know he's out at least 4 or 5 games, with this. And when as the way this season is gone, you have to wonder if it's a season ending for Dak Prescott.
This is where we come in today's media, where being first to say something and being right to say something miss each other. Because for James Jones, to your point, you are a former NFL player.
Right.
You have an extreme amount of access to people, to information, and even with a guy like Manny Ocho being on your team, Ocho has access to people like Clarence Hill,
Oprah,
Oprah, Jane Slater, or people who are here, boots on the ground, that he could have easily reached out to before they did their pre-show meeting and been like, "Hey, what y'all hearing around there right now?" Because it's going to be a topic on the show. But this is why, and thank you to all that is listening. Shout out to UNITY Unity from all the way from dinner who tuned into our show. We appreciate you. But this is why you should listen to more of local media for your football information than those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Because those guys are trying to get clicks. Those guys are trying to get
We are
views.
too, but we're doing it by actually talking about the team.
And actually have people who know what they're talking about this particular team.
Yeah.
But for James Jones, it's and now you want to back talk it, and I'm not back talking, but I have more information. Well, you should have got the information first before you made such a slanderous comment about a dude who, you can say whatever you want about Dak as a player, ain't no quitting him. Ain't no quitting him.
Whether it was torn off the bone or not, I was already offended. It's criminally wrong, criminally negligent to.
Your mic is off now because you unhooked it. But what also is happening,
for crying
is,
out loud,
and this is a little bit of part of that.
You got to line up the holes.
Here's where a little bit of that comes into play, where, maybe Jerry shouldn't always say things so openly about things that before he even gets the real information about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is just a guy that's,
I'm good.
Right while I'm trying to talk.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
My bad.
And to make sure his mic works.
My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. Unlike James Jones, I apologize.
But when Jerry comes out and he says openly about that probably going on IR before they actually have a true designation for him, that also gives off a bad.
Well, Jerry did not pull it out of his butt. Okay, Jerry got it from. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't pull it out of his anal gland.
No,
Somebody told him something.
But no, he got Jerry. I mean, Jerry says a lot of things out of school, but it's based on stuff he's told. It's not. He's
But
not
it could have been a conversation. It could have been here are the options.
Yeah.
Here are options.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is you kind of knew when they did the MRI Monday. He said this on Tuesday. They got the MRI. Jack was just going to get second opinion. They knew what the injury was on Monday. Okay, so
which is the opposite of quitting, by the way. What Dak was doing was hoping to find a crazy doctor who would tell him that he could play.
They went to get second opinions, and that's why they haven't made anything official. But they knew what it was on Monday.
But until you are ready to make it official, maybe keep that a little bit closer to the vest.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is he wasn't reckless in saying we're just gonna put him on IR. He basically that's information he was told. He understands the nature of the injury. He understands that regardless, it was gonna be multiple weeks. 4 weeks, IR is 4 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
So he understood the landscape of the situation. But the bottom line is this, and with all due respect to you, and I know you do your homework and you care and you talk about.
Oh, but
I don't
here comes a butt. Here comes a butt.
It's not a butt.
Oh,
it's not a butt in that sense.
But
Go ahead.
Like that shows that we're NFL players and we give you the straight truth. Just because you're an NFL player don't mean you can't be full of shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Just because you played the game
No,
don't
you're
mean you can't be full of caca when you're talking about the game.
No, you're right.
And there are a lot of them that are.
No, you're right.
yeah, I mean, being fairly new to this business, I think one of the things I take seriously is analyzing with integrity. And, you guys have mentioned that there are resources plenty. We've seen Nacho on Twitter. We've seen him on our Twitter. We've seen a lot of these guys that are on these shows be active.
He used to work for DLLSCowboys.com.
That's what I'm saying. We've seen these people be active in Cowboy Land on Twitter specifically. So the information is there, all those things. I thought it was negligent. And I found it weird. Because if you listen to James Jones, like if you've listened to any of his commentary about Dak, he has been one of the only rational people when he is talking about the Cowboys or talking about Dak Prescott's play. So I don't know if he was in his fifis and he just felt the way or whatever, but that whole thing was weird to me because that is not the energy that he has carried through his time even being on that show.
I think you are who you surround yourself with,
Right.
and it just caught up to him. He surrounds himself with trash broadcasters, and eventually you start playing the game. Like that's the thing,
it is
that
a game, to your point.
bringing up the shows that I would never watch. Like I'll sometimes see the clips that get shared on social media, but like I would never watch because it's such trash. And one of my best friends on planet Earth is on that show sometimes, and he's great because.
Shout out to David Hellman.
Yes, David Hellman's incredible. What I think makes a great broadcaster is being able to take something that you think, an opinion you have that is real, that you actually think and you actually believe it, and you might turn it up by 5 or 10% and then have a fun energy and whatever, right? That's a great broadcaster. I hate giving any energy to the guys who, they don't work.
No.
They're playing TV. Emmanuel Acho is an awful broadcaster. Right? Let me take that back. He's a great broadcaster.
He's a great broadcaster.
This is what works. It works. People watch that trash. And as long as you're tuning in knowing that you're just watching people spew uninformed opinions that they think will get people to react to it, then that's fine. But if you think that you're learning something or that they believe anything that they say, then you're wrong. I mean, Shady McCoy is on that show, and he was an awesome NFL player. He's an ass broadcaster if you're talking about trying to learn something.
Twice like he says it.
Ass. I didn't know what he says.
Yeah,
I've never seen.
yeah.
The only thing I've seen is the clips because I was at training camp when Shady McCoy and Acho came down. Because this is all the game. The whole game it's just like this, and I'm going to talk about it and give them attention, which is so backwards. The whole game is they say reckless stuff about the Cowboys. People react, respond, yell at them, and they go, "Oh man, we're going to come down to camp. We're going to come down. You're right. We're going to come down there. Our bad." And then they come down there and they go back. And while they're out there, Shady talks to maybe 3 people that he knows, never looks at the practice field, goes back down to do a show the next day. And he's like, I tell you, Pollard looked good. Pollard wasn't there that day.
No, he wasn't.
So, it's literally all made up. Even saying that Dak quit on his football team and all that from James Jones. And now you would, in a rational world where you talked about sports and you said something like that about an NFL player, which was obviously not true. And now you know for a fact it's not true. In a rational world, you'd be like, oh, you need to do a sincere, crap. That was irresponsible broadcasting. I shouldn't have done that. That was my bad. But instead, what they will do is Acho tweets at him this morning. It's a setup for the show.
Yeah.
Oh, James Jones, look what you did now.
Right.
And it's more.
To get people to watch the show.
It's WWE.
Yes, it is. It is the WWE of sports. So if you want to learn about the Cowboys, you want to be informed, and we think that we're having fun and are entertaining, watch us.
We all silly like the mayor.